Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You're watching my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm here doing a review of Love Goals Season 1, Episode 2. Alright, so this episode was more involved in the group therapy and also having some single couples therapy with Spirit, who is the therapist. And the group therapy sometimes could be a very powerful thing because not only you just working within yourself in the whole group, you also work it into fixing your couple goals and also as well as healing through the process. It can be very intense, but it's also a safe process for each individual to learn to get that what they want. And you feed back of the energy of the group. That's what sometimes it can be very detrimental to yourself or it can be very powerful or helpful if the group is run well. If you have a well person, a facilitator, to actually run the group. To make sure not one person or not one couple is monopolizing the group, who's taking over the group so much, if also hammering and harmful for the other group people members in there. And also giving each person a space to share themselves, and also if you need to give them extra attentions within the group and everybody's okay with that, then you give that. And I feel like Spirit has done that this episode. Alright, so let's jump down into each one and then I go make to go to some of them details. Alright, so Spinderella and Q. Most likely it's Spinderella. You know, Spinderella was a 1/3 member of the group of Salt and Pepper. And she shared a lot of her problems with her relationship with Q. It's not so much Q and her together. It's more of herself and her internal struggle that she had because she has been in the group. She has not have a lot of self-esteem. She been rejection. So it's a lot going on within her. And him, he trying to find a way to help them so they can be a successful marriage and be together for a long time. But within Spinderella, if she don't get herself the help that she needs to grow and to heal, then she will be stuck. And when she's stuck, then the relationship is not going to go further. So their battle is for her to not to be so deep within herself and not to be internalizing everything and let it out so he could be able to know how to help you. But if you keep things in and shelter it and not expressing it, and also where you feel bad at the fact that you can't get better yourself, and you have that mentality that you can't get better, and it's hindering you for your successful in a relationship, then it will be detrimental for your marriage with Q. So, you gotta get out your head, and you gotta let him in, and you gotta make also not be so self-guarded because of what you've been through in your past. So that is hindering her to move forward with him. And he is a good guy. He want to stay there and be her. And she keeps saying he's the light. He's the light. And I don't want to dim that light because of my own issues and my own internal struggles. So we hopefully spin a Q, and most likely on spin part, to get it together. Alright? And I pray that it will. It seems like it's just more of her trying to release her internal struggles and let that go and realize that she will be alright. And she said, even though he hurt me, I don't want to hurt him. And that's very powerful. And everybody's like, oh, that's nice to say that, because she don't want to hurt him. Because that, and she don't want to do that. Alright, so we got Sunday and Breon. We know their little situation that was mentioned last week is that he's a ladies' man. He's a womanizer. He loved the ladies, and now he's in a relationship with Sunday. Remember, Sunday and Breon only been in a relationship for 8 months. So I'm like wondering, why are they here when they only been so early in the relationship? At first, Sunday didn't really care about too much of the girls and the girlfriends because she wasn't really solidifying a relationship with him. They was friends, so she didn't mind. And they had set these rules and boundaries that they don't cross. And before they got serious, but when they got serious, that rules and boundary has been broken and been crossing, and it's like not being honoring. And when you don't honor the boundaries of your couple or the person you with, there ain't gonna be issues. Every person, individual, have boundaries in a relationship. Every couple have boundaries. Every individual in the relationship have boundaries. And when that person is not honoring the boundary that you set forth, and they agree to honor that boundary, then that's a breaking of the communication, breaking the trust, and breaking everything in a relationship. So when Sunday and Breon started to get together, he crossed that because she said one of the boundaries is she was okay for not to see his family, his son, he was okay not seeing his daughter and his family, like her family. I guess one time she was out with her mother and I guess her daughter or something like that. And then or something, he knew where she was at, and he came, actually introduced himself to the family, and it's kind of hurt her because she felt like it's like he crossed that boundaries, like he made that choice. She didn't tell him to do that. He made that choice to do that, and your choice that you think is like, okay, she needs to know who I am. She needs to know this, but y'all had set forth not to see that yet, and you broke that by going into it without her knowing, and made that decision for her to meet her parent when y'all had to sit down and discuss, and y'all was not ready to do that yet. So he broke that promise. He broke that boundaries, and now he sit and act like it was no big deal for him doing that. But no, it is, because that's not the boundary y'all set forth with each other in your relationship. If y'all both decided not to do that yet, then you should have honored that and not show up unannounced to where she was at with her family until you had a conversation with her and y'all was ready to do that. So he was in the wrong for that. So hopefully we can see more of Sunday Beyond. It seems like we're going to get more background story in between those two next episode. Let's go with Althea and Benzino. Alright, with those two, Benzino want a common ground between him and Althea so they could be good with their son. They all know they're going to really get really back together in a sense to be in the whole relationship, but at least be co-parenting and be healthy co-parents for the sake of their son. But they seem to always attack each other. It's always fighting each other and not listening and not hearing each other's feelings. And it's always like a guarded fight. So that's what he's going here for. So when they had to sit down and had their turn, it was basically is she don't want to fight with him. But Spirit said if you could stop fighting, you could have stopped fighting. But you choose not to stop fighting. So when she was at there was going to the attack mode like she always have. Oh, he's doing this. He's not doing that. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. The power between Althea and Benzino, they so hell bent in trying to destroy each other. They not so hell bent in trying to uplift each other. If y'all gonna have a common ground, you got to be able to say something nice to each other. It's always that attack, always digging and pushing buttons and provoking each other. And she was saying a lot of things. And he's upset about that. So he said, I'm not going to sit here and keep going. Like, he got to defend his honor. Like, he said, I'm a good guy. I got a good heart. And we can see Benzino does have a good heart. You can say he's a good guy. I don't think he's that much of a heart. Yes, he's been growing up in the streets. He was in hip-hop. But it seems like he's a good guy. He don't want to hit a woman. He does that. He just love. But his struggle is he don't even know how to love. He don't even probably know what love is. He had to been through a lot of loss because him, Benzino, and Spirit had a single section with each other. And he's been through a lot of loss. He's through a lot of hurt, a lot of sadness. He loves his mother because he said before Althea, he never really had been in a successful relationship. He always was like in the streets, just doing them high crushes and stuff like that. It was all about hip hop and the love of hip hop and so like that. So when he got with Althea, it was mostly that bonding in that show. But before that, his only real love that he had before hip hop was his mom. And his dad, he honored his dad, but his dad was come and go type of person. Like, he get money, something like that, you never think about it. But throughout his life, he always went through a lot of loss. So his anger and rage is always trying to prove himself, like he's good, he got this, he got that, and he got the love, he got the money, he do this, he show heart. But he always feel like he had to defend his honor because he always had to do that when he was growing up, defending himself, loving, trying to prove that he is someone. He know how to love, but he don't know the tools about effectively giving and receiving love. So he asked Spirit, can he give that? He wants that. He wants to learn how to do that. And that's exactly what she's going to give him. And it seemed like he's very receptive. Now we'll see how Althea's going to do in her part. But when they was talking, when they had a group session, it seemed like Althea, at first Althea didn't want to sit next to Benzino. That's already a whole body language communication right there. Like, she's still not trying to comfortable being next to him. But Sunday said, let's go next to her. You want us to work it out, we gotta work it out. But the first step working it out is sit next to him. So she got him to sit next to him. And then when I was talking, they go back and forth. So Spirit started to sit next to Benzino while Althea got up because she said she can't do with this. Because Spirit was trying to ask Althea, explain how you feel. What is the feeling? But every time she's trying to say the feeling, she's trying to control what she's trying to say and not spread it out. She said, no, you trying to control. And Althea just said that she always picked powerful men, and the men have some sense of control. And so since she don't like to be too controlled, she fights it too much. So that's a pattern that she gotta break habit. To know that she can love herself more to feel like to being someone who could be controlling her. So when it's a task, and it was like, listen, y'all, we gotta do something different. Y'all so hell bent in saying what y'all don't like about each other. Can you say something what's nice about each other? Benzino was saying 3 things. He said, I did look good. She said, tell me something I was. She said, come on, he said something nice. Like, leave the compliment. Let him say, you can't even receive that compliment without even combatants like that. So Spirit had to tell me, it's like, you can't even accept that. Let it be. This is what he is. If he say you look good, you look beautiful, just say thank you, receive that. Say that. He also said that she's very businesslike and she's very loyal. And she broke down because she needed to hear that. He said he has a good heart. He's a good guy, a good father, and he's a good businessman. And she liked that. So they both need to hear that. And when it's like, it's very powerful. Sometimes we get so hung up. It's like, okay, they should know how I feel about them. They should know how I like that. They should know he has a good heart. No. People still like to hear the good things. It doesn't matter if you've been married for 25 years, 20 years, 15 years, 15 minutes, whatever. People still love to hear the good things. I said, baby, I love that you always be there for me. I love that you always give your heart. I love that. It's like, you always got to say that now and then, because when you complacent and not saying that, and then you start using the problems as your problems and start act like that's different and not saying what you really feel, then sometimes issues. So when she said, sometimes the problems are not the problems. It's sometimes the individual deep-rooted issues that you have. And since Benzino and Althea both have pain before they got together, that's something they got to both unravel and unwrap to get rid of and let some of that release, so they could be a better common ground, so they could have better communication for their son. Alright, so lastly I'm going to talk about the Bowls, which is Dwayne and Teresa. Y'all remember Dwayne and Teresa both, Teresa explained last week, which I kind of agree, is that when Dwayne got married, and he was a football player before, and then he's not doing football, and then he doing his music career, and he feel like he has to uplift his community or be there to be the person to take care of his community. So he had boys that he grew up with, and since he made it, he feel like they gotta come with him. So they in the house with him, chilling and relaxing and chilling and leeching off of them. And Teresa is the one who's actually doing this. So he made it seem like he's like, oh yeah, she cook, she cleans, she does this and that, and it's tiring her. She can't be the black superhero woman and that he wants her to be. Because he said, my mom did this, my this, that. And that's a woman. And so she feel like, oh, so all men feel like women should cater to them. And I guess in her, Teresa's defense, yes, it's not right to make it feel like she always gonna be there. And I think that's what he thinking. It's like, no matter what I do, she's not going anywhere. So I'm fine. Like, if I can stop doing music now and stuff like that, and when that dollar's going away, she's gonna be there. So he always complains and think that she's not going anywhere. Where Teresa gotta let him know. So listen, I feel alone. I feel I'm doing everything by myself. I'm doing 10 jobs, taking care of the kids, taking care of you, taking care of the household. I'm also making sure these people are good. You're not saying anything. You're letting them leashes off for us. And it's very tiring. I can't do this, and it's too much. You gotta let them go. You gotta let them be. He make excuses that, oh, they good, they got good, they doing good for themselves. This is doing that, and they need to stay here, and I have to look out for them. It's without committing to. But you can't make a commitment to her, and also you failing your commitment to what you made with your wife. If you made a commitment to be there and honor with your wife, then you had to let that go. And he always felt like he need to balance, and he have a hard time balancing the control between him being there for his boys and taking care of his boys and having them leaving in the house and being with her. And you can't have that. And then you letting Teresa feel like she should be able to do this thing. She should be able to cook. She should be able to clean. She should be able to do this, even with my boys there. I said, no, that's not how it works. Because at the end of the day, you taking her for granted, and you taking advantage of her doing things for you, because you think that, or she always gonna be there. And then Teresa said, Spirit told Teresa, speak up, speak it out. And she said, if I'm doing this alone, then I'd rather be alone because I need to leave because this is too much. And he never thought about that. But even with all that, I still believe that Dwayne and Teresa really love each other. I still think that he really loves us. He got that hard-headedness of not trying to let go and try to be there for boys. And sometimes you gotta let that go. I said you gotta find a common ground because if you using Teresa as your personal maid and slave, and she's doing all this, and she's the superwoman cape and everything, and you expect that for her, you also losing her. And what Spirit says, she's not blameless because she's not speaking up and letting him know that it's affecting her in this way. And she needs to step up and tell him, it's like, if things don't work out, and if things don't change in this at the state of time, then I need to leave. Because I'm not going to be someone doormat to be there for you kids and your whole entourage who stay in the house, and you can't seem to let them go and be in leeches. And so I think that's his problem. I think he always feel like that Teresa's always gonna be there. She's not going anywhere, so she could do what she gotta do. Be the woman, be the caregiver. She do whatever it is. She do all this stuff for me, and I love that, and that's what I expect her to be, to do. But Teresa also gotta let him know, put her foot down, and said this is too tiring. I can't be the superwoman like you want me to be for everyone in the house. You made a commitment to her, and they've been together for 2 years, so I believe they can work it out. But that was Love Goals, y'all. And please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel. Like I said, Love Goals is meant for us to have a conversation. So if you have seen this episode, or if y'all haven't seen it and y'all listen to what I was saying, people put down in the comment section if y'all experiencing what this couples is going through, or if you have seen it, or you know under insights, or you are very versed in the field of therapy and psychology and stuff, and you want to give me your insights. Please write it down and we can have a conversation, alright? I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.